morning, students. I am Manisha Vinay Indani, Head Department of Education, Kavitri Bainabai Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. Today we are going to learn about research, and next we will learn about educational research. So let us start with research. What is research? And I know you are thinking that research is very difficult, it's a very boring subject, but it is not so. You may think that research is the work of an elderly person who are working in the laboratory with the big spectacles and working day and night with his chemicals, but it is not so. Research can be conducted in any areas of the life. I want to ask you, can you live without your mobile phones for a day? Of course, the answer is not. Can you live without your motorbike for a day? Of course not. I want to ask another question. What do you observe in your classrooms? Yes, the computers, laptops, projector, AC, etc. Isn't it? So what are these? Your mobiles, your motorbikes, these computers, laptops, projectors, these all are the product of the research. From all these examples, one thing is very clear that research makes the life very comfortable. It makes our life luxurious. So why don't we think about research? So let us see what is research. If you observe the word research, it is composed by two syllables. That is re plus search. What is the meaning of re? Re means again. It means research means search it again. You may ask me why one should research means why one should search it again. So I want to give the one example. If I lost my pen and I search the pen here and there, is it a research? You have to think and give me the answer. I want to put one more examples. Once upon a time, a a man lost his favorite wife and he searched his wife here and there and he found his wife. So is it a research? So literally meaning of the research is search it again. But the we can't say that these two examples are the example of research. It is only searching. So when you will understand the complete process of the research, you will give me the answer of these questions. So what we have to research? We have to research the solutions of the problems. So here we have to we have to search out the new solutions, because in humanities and in social sciences there is not a single answer of questions. There are a multiple choice for the students. There are the multiple alternatives for one single questions. So by using the process scientific process, we have to do the research and find out the best alternatives, best options for the questions, and when we will call it a research. So research, again I'm repeating that what is research? Re plus search means we have to search it again and we have to search the solution of the problems. Research is an activity, because in research you have to perform the activity. It is not a passive work. Research is an active works for all. Research is an activity which is carried out scientifically and systematically. The two words are very important in research. Research is an activity which is carried out systematically and which is carried out by scientifically. But you may ask me why one should carry out the activity very systematically and scientifically. So let us see why we have to carry out this activity to solve the problems. What is why we have to carried out an activity? We should carry out the activity to solve a problems. So you may ask me, what is problems, isn't it? So problem, you may say that problem is the difficulties. It is a gap between the existing situations and the required situations or expected situation. It is a gap between two things. You may think that it is a worries. For example, if I want to know what is the effect of 2 years B.Ed course on the quality development of the teachers, if I want to search out the answer of these questions, what I should do? I have to carry out the research. Another examples, if I want to know what the toppers, SSC toppers select, which branch of the educations most toppers select. For this purpose, what I to do? I to carry out the research. I can't ask 2 and 3 students and give the answers. For this one, I to ask many students and then conclude the answer or find out the solution of the problems. So problems may be small, may be big, but it should be solved by systematically and by scientifically. Research, when I say that research is an activity which is carried out systematically means to follow the steps. In day-to-day life also, we follow the many steps. We perform the activity very systematically in day-to-day life. For example, you are interested in making cakes. So what is the procedure? We have to follow step by step. You can't jump from the first step to the last steps. Same way, if you are performing any project, you have to follow the steps of that project. In day-to-day life, in many examples, you can put that you follow the certain steps. For example, you are learning a bike or you are learning a bicycles. What are these? There are also certain steps. So when we follow the steps, we say that it is a systematic activity. Same way in the research also there are the steps and one should follow that steps. You can't jump from one step to the last or you can leave the steps between it. So research is the activity which is carried out systematically means to follow the steps. So research has to follow the steps. So we can say that research is systematic and research is scientifically. To follow the steps, when we follow these steps, so it is a process. So now we can conclude that research is an activity which is carried out systematically and scientifically to solve the solutions, and when we say that it is a systematically, it means it is a process. So now there is a question, what is the difference between an activity and a process? Can you give me the answer? The process means there are the sequence of the activities. When we perform many activities, it become a process. And activity is only single work. When we do only single activity, it is not a research. When we perform series of the activities, then it is a process. And research is a process. Second word, that is a scientifically. When I say scientifically, it means logically and objectively. When there is a science, there is a logic, and when there is a science, there is a objectivity. So the solutions can be found out biologically and objectively. So we can say that research is a process and research is logically performed and research should be objectively performed. Research result in three things. The outputs of the research can be concluded in 3 points, that is discoveries, innovations and inventions. Let us understand what is discovery. When the things are available in the nature, but the common people are not aware about these things, and we find out these things and we show these things to the common people or human beings, then it is known as a discovery. For example, we say that Columbus discovered America. Means America was exist in the nature, but it is discovered by the Columbus. It means that the things which are not known to the people, we make to known to the others, unknown to known, that time it is said to the discovery. Second word, that is innovations. You know that in the ancient times there are the very big computers are there, but today you are using your smartphones. So that what are these the process that the some peoples make the modification in the old computers and make the give us the new laptops or this your smartphones. That is innovation. Innovation means to add the new knowledge, add the knowledge to the existing knowledge. That is known as the innovations. Means suppose there are the you know that there are the many theories of intelligence, and when you modify these theories of intelligence, for example Gardner, so this is the innovations. And what is invention? Invention means you have to search out the new things, totally new things. That is known as the inventions. I am repeating again. What is discovery? Discovery means the things which are exist in the world, but the peoples are not aware about that things, and we make them aware. It is known as the discovery. Innovations means the things are exist, are there, peoples are aware of that, but you add the more knowledge, you make it more comfortable, you make it more luxurious, more easy to the students that or the people. So that is the innovations. Invention means totally new change, totally new knowledge. You discover, you find out new theories, new rules, new regulations. So that is the inventions. Let us see that the research has been conducted and can be carried out in different branches. For example, research has been done and you can carry out the research in languages, research in social sciences, you can carry out research in educations, already done in education, but you can conduct the research in education as well as in sciences, commerce, management, etc. More branches are there. You can, if I ask you that the research, can the research done in your recipes? Yes, research are going on in each and every aspect of the life. There is no limits of the research. The persons can conduct the research in any branch. So this is about the research. So let us see the definition of research. The first definition of the research refers to a process where activities are carried out systematically and scientifically to solve the problems. It means the one thing is clear, that whenever you want to do the research, there should be a problem. Without a problem, one cannot carry out the research. And it should be, research activity should be very systematic and scientific. The another definition of research is a systematic inquiry to describe, explain, predict, and control the observed phenomena. Research involves inductive and deductive methods. These are the two definitions. There are many definitions of the research you can see in the reference books. What are the characteristics of the research? Because first you know the research characteristics, then only you can understand the educational research. The first thing is that research is systematic and scientific inquiry to find out the truth. The research, why we carried out the research? To find out the truth. This is the, so whenever you do the research, you are many you are quietly faithful to the process. Second, research is purposive activity. Without any purpose, one cannot carry out the research. Research is a process. Research has steps to follow. Research is objective and logical in nature. Research result in innovation, invention, or discovery. Research may be carried out in every aspect of the life. These are the characteristics of the research. Student, let us see why we have to conduct the research. Why one should carry out the research? You know that you will give the answer that you want a degree. You want the M.Ed degree, that's why you are carried out the research. Yes, the PhD student will say that he want to get a degree. That's why PhD degree, so that's why he will conduct the research. But this is the very limited scope of the research. This is true that to get a degree that we conduct the research. But there are other reasons why we carried out the research. First, to find out the truth and facts. The research is the process of finding out the truth. To generalize the principles and theories. There are the many principles, theories generated by the scientist, by the psychologist, and if you want to check the application of that theories, that principles, you can conduct the research. To discover new knowledge, to solve the problems, to satisfy the curiosity, to modify the existing knowledge, to get a intellectual happiness. Research is the process which gives us the inner happiness. To serve the society. These are the examples, these are the reasons we carried out research. The third criteria of the research, that is a method. According to the method, there are the different types of the research. For examples, there is the experimental methods, survey method, historical method, philosophical method, and correlational method, causal comparative methods are there. So let us see what is experimental methods. The experimental methods, the word shows that the researcher conduct the experiment in this research, means he control the some variables and find out the result of that control variables on the non-control variables, means dependent variables and independent variables. So what is dependent and independent variables? The in experimental research, the independent variables are those which are in the hands of the research. It means the researchers can modify that variables. It means the researcher can manipulate that variables. For example, the teaching methods is the example of independent variables. If the researchers want what is the effect of that independent variables on the dependent variables. What is dependent variables? The dependent variables are such variables which are depend on the independent variables. For example, the student's achievement is depend on the teaching methods of the teachers. Yes, definitely that achievements is depend on many other factors, but the main major factor that the teaching methods. So the achievement is known as the dependent variables. So in which the in the research, when the researcher manipulates the independent variables and see the effect of that independent variables on dependent variables, that time it is the experimental methods. It is in humanities, in social sciences, the research cannot be conducted in the laboratories, but the research conduct the research on human beings, on the students. And so why it is known as experiments, or it is known as a control, or it is known as a laboratory? Because in experimental research, researcher controls some variables, so it is known as a control experiment, or it is known as a control research, or you can say that it is the experimental research. In experiment research, the researcher find out the new knowledge. The researcher wants to say something about the future of the students. For example, there are the various different methods of teaching mathematics, but if the researcher want to find out which method is many suitable or most suitable for the students, he will conduct the experiment. For example, in teaching history, there are the methods of teaching history, that is storytelling method, textbook method, discussion methods, and use of ICT, etc. But if a teacher wants to know which method is most suitable for his students, that time he will carry out the experiment in his classrooms, and it is known as the experimental research. The details we will see in the next next chapters or next lessons. Another, that is the survey method. All of you aware about the survey. Survey is the most common and most famous methods of the research. It is very easy also, but it is why it is famous, because in limited time period our persons can collect a lot of information by using the questionnaire. So it is easy, and in a 1 month or in a day the researcher can collect a lot of informations, and these informations can be analyzed by using the statistical techniques. So it is known as a survey method. In a survey method, the researcher find out the solutions of the problem of day-to-day life, or he collects the informations about the present situation. So it is known as a survey research. If you want to know the what is the opinions of the student towards environmental education, for that purpose also the researcher will collect the information from many students and analyze the opinions of the students towards the mathematics or toward the environmental education. So it is the survey methods. Next one is, that is the historical research related to the past events. It find out the solutions of the past events. Means solutions, you can say that how can we find out the solutions of the past. So the researchers going to find out the reason why the problems arises in the past, and what are the solutions that can be used in day to day or in the present situation. Historical research related, if you want to study about the progress of a particular institutions, that time you collect the informations from the beginning of that institutions to and analyze these informations and conclude about what are the reasons for that particular institution progress. So it is known as a historical research. Next, there is a philosophical research. Philosophical research deals with the values or the morals of a particular persons or characteristics of a persons. For example, you want to know about the moral values of Gandhijis or educational values of the Gandhijis. That time you will collect the informations regarding the Gandhiji, and it is the and you analyze that values. So it is the philosophical, means you will study in a philosophical angles. You will find out the values, moralities of a person. So it is known as a philosophical research. Another research, that is a correlational research. In correlational research, the researchers find out the relationship between the two variables. For example, achievements and learning methods. For examples, the researcher want to know that if the students studied in a particular way, what will be the changes in achievement. It is known as a correlational research. The correlation may be positive, the correlation may be negative, or it may be there is no correlation between the two variables. So it is known as a zero correlations. So these are the types of research based on the different criteria. You know that research has to follow the steps. So educational research has to be follow the steps. So what are the steps? According to the we know that there are the various types of research. So according to the research, there are the different steps of the research, but generally there are the 5 steps in any research. The first step, that is the identification of a problems. This is the very first steps of any research. Means while conducting any research, the researchers has to find out the problems, and then put or here to write that problem in particular words. The wording should be very uh, you have to select the proper words for that wordings. So it is known as the identification of problem, because there are, if I know that my students fail in a particular subject, mathematics, this is the problem, but I can't do on this topic, I can't do the research. I have to find out the particular reasons where the students are fail, why the students are fail, and I have to do the proper wording of the problems. So it is known as the identification of the problem. If your problem is wrong, you can't conduct the research in a proper manner. Second step, that is the formulation of the hypothesis. So let us see what is hypothesis. Hypothesis means a tentative answer of a solutions, tentative answers of the problems. It is an intelligent guess. Means when there is a problem arises, you think something about that problem. You guess something about that problem. For example, your students fail in a mathematics. You guess something about that problem, and whatever you guess, it is an intellectual guess, and so it is known as a hypothesis. It is known as a hypothesis. This is the many very important steps in the research. But for example, in historical research or in a philosophical research, there may not be some hypothesis, but in other research you have to frame the hypothesis. Third step, that is the data collections. Uh, you frame the problems, then you frame the hypothesis, then according to the problems you need to decide your sample, you need to collect the informations from that persons or that samples. So data collections is the third steps. In data collections you have to use the tools. By using the tools you collect the informations from the sample. Fourth steps, that is the data analysis. Whatever data you collected, you have to analyze it. There are the different types, different methods of analyzing data. And fifth step is the conclusions. Conclusions, you can say that it is a conclusion, it is the findings, or it is the your solutions of a problems. So these are the 5 steps of the research. First step, that is the identification of problem. Second step, that is the formulation of hypothesis. Third, that is the data collections. Fourth, that is the data analysis. And fifth is the conclusions. What is identification of problem? You know that identification of the problem, it is the first step of the research. First you have to find out the problems, and then you have to find out, you make it identified, means you have to write in a proper wordings. So this is the first steps. So when we identify the problems, after identifications of a problem, what we do, we make a certain guess about that problem. We do certain observations regarding that problems. We recall the previous knowledge about that problems. We recall the previous findings regarding this particular problems. We do the readings and discussions. Are you getting it? What is, suppose you face a problem, then you write particular problems in a particular way, in a particular wording. Then after that one, what is your step, what is your work? That we make certain guess regarding that problems, because we have some previous knowledge, we have some observations, we have read some previous researches, so we know the certain findings of that research, and we do the readings and discussions with our teachers, with the experts, and what we do, then we formulate the hypothesis. Means to frame the hypothesis, we required the previous findings, we required the previous knowledge, we required the previous readings and discussions with the experts, and all this make us to formulate the hypothesis, because hypothesis has some base. Without a base you can't frame a hypothesis. So formulation of the hypothesis is the second steps. So what is hypothesis? Let us see that hypothesis is the crude observation. It is crude observations because after the data collections and after the data analysis, we have to check, we have to experiment, we have to examine whether that hypothesis is true or false. So it is known as a crude observations. Hypothesis is an intelligent guess. We have to think about regarding only that problems. We should not be biased mind. We should not think the solutions by putting the any our previous bias or etc. Hypothesis means a tentative solutions of a problems. Hypothesis is needed scientific observations. So let us see again what is hypothesis. Hypothesis is a crude observations. Hypothesis means it is an intelligent guess. Hypothesis is the tentative solutions of a problem. It is tentative because after the analyzing the data, you have to find out the proper solutions of that problems. So hypotheses are the tentative solutions of the problems. What the hypothesis needed? Because hypotheses are there, so hypothesis should be checked, it should be examined, so it needed some observations, and the observation should be scientific observations. That scientific observations, the other name of that scientific observation is the data. So third step is that is the collection of the data. The collection of data is generally in numbers because I told you that we all are going to do the quantitative research. In a quantitative research there is a numbers, so the data should be in numbers, and this generally in this collection of data convert into the quantitative descriptions, and these quantitative descriptions test the hypothesis, and this is called the data analysis. Means what is data analysis? The data analysis is nothing but the examining or testing of the hypothesis is known as the data analysis, and it is the fourth step of the research. After testing or after examining the hypothesis will be true or will be false, but it is your findings. So it may be true, or if it is false, then also there is no problem because it is the findings. For example, your hypothesis is that the new method will be effective for the teaching of the mathematics, and you find out that the new method is not effective for teaching mathematics, but the traditional method is teaching for teaching by traditional method the students learn properly proper. So no problem, this is the your finding. So by testing, by examining hypothesis, you will get the conclusion, you will get the findings. And this, the when you guess or when you conclude about the hypothesis, that hypothesis is true or false, it is known as a result, it is a conclusions, it is a fifth steps. I want to repeat it again. First step, that is the identification of a problem. After the identification of problem, the researcher has to do some observation regarding that problems. The researchers has to collect some informations about that problems. He had to revise, recall the previous knowledge, and by all these things he has to frame the hypothesis. And what is hypothesis? Hypothesis is the tentative solution of a problem. It is the intelligent guess. What it is? It is your tentative opinion about the problems. So it is a tentative, so it needs checking, it needs testing, it needs experiments, it needs examine it. So after the framing of the hypothesis, you need to collect the data. and this data should be in numericals, because hypotheses are framed in only quantitative research, not in qualitative research. So whenever there is a hypothesis, you should collect the numerical data, and this numerical data, you after collection of this numerical data, you to describe in a statistical manner, and this is the fourth steps, that is the data analysis. By doing data analysis, you check, you test that whether your hypotheses are true or false. By this checking, you find out the conclusions, or you find out the findings, and it is the last fifth step of any research. So students, today we learn about what is research. Then we learn characteristics of the research. Then definitions, we learn some definitions of the research. After that, we come to know about what is educational research. What are the steps of educational research? What are the types of research? Are you remembering? What is the types of research according to the criteria, according to the data collections, according to the methods of conducting research? We saw different methods in the research. Then we learn about hypothesis. What is hypothesis and how to formulate the hypothesis? Means we learn the 5 steps of the research. That the first steps of the research, that is the identification of the problem. Second step, that is the hypothesis, formulations of the hypothesis. Third steps, that is the data collections. Fourth one, data analysis. And fifth one, draw the conclusions to find out the solutions. These are the 5 steps of the generally used in a research. Thank you students.